When a stock rallies sharply without any official news, traders immediately start asking one question: what triggered such a powerful move? Today's analysis breaks down a surprising surge in SoFi Technologies' share price, the institutional behavior behind it, and what the latest technical and derivatives data suggest about its next potential direction. Hello everyone! Welcome to Daily Stock Update. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell. But before that, this is not a financial advice video. SoFi finished the day with a strong green close, gaining more than 4% despite the absence of any company-specific announcements. The trading range was defined by a low near 28.46 and a high around 29.75. The most significant technical level during the session was the 29.03 zone. This area had previously acted as a resistance level, and the way the price reacted to it became one of the defining features of the day. Early in the move, the stock hesitated briefly near this region, but that pause lasted only a short period before buyers overwhelmed the level and pushed the price decisively higher. The strength of that breakout set the tone for the remainder of the session. A major contributor to this momentum was aggressive institutional involvement. Large block transactions, each exceeding $100,000, appeared consistently throughout the session. Several notable ones included multi-million-dollar buys, along with several blocks in the $4 million to $7 million range. These transactions helped support the price, even though SoFi did not release any press statements, nor were any new filings published with the SEC. This shows that the demand came from strategic accumulation rather than headline-driven speculation. Broader market sentiment played an important role as well. Comments made the previous evening regarding the possibility of significant federal income tax reductions for Americans created an optimistic backdrop for equities overall. While specific policy details remain unclear and require further confirmation, markets typically respond quickly to the prospect of lighter tax burdens, especially in growth-oriented sectors. As a result, SoFi benefited from the general bullishness that spread across the market. Trading volume came in lower than the average, which is typical for early closing market days and holiday periods. SoFi recorded roughly 26.9 million shares traded versus its 76.7 million average. However, despite being lower overall, the volume quality was strong. A single institutional order, valued at approximately $1.3 million, represented a significant percentage of the day's total activity. This reinforces the view that large buyers remained active even as many market participants stepped away for the holiday weekend. Short-selling data added another layer to the analysis. The number of shorted shares increased modestly by around 281,000, bringing total estimated short interest to nearly 118.9 million shares, about 10% of SoFi's free float. Interestingly, the minimum cost-to-borrow rate for the day remained negative, suggesting unusual borrowing conditions. Because many U.S. funds and trading desks were inactive during the holiday, it appears that the short-side activity came mostly from outside the United States, likely from institutions based in Canada, Europe, or other global markets. Once the SEC's upcoming transparency rules take effect, expected in 2026 following previous delays, reporting of short positions will become mandatory rather than voluntary, dramatically increasing visibility into these types of moves. Looking at SoFi's performance over the entire week shows just how powerful this reversal has been. Excluding today's gain, the stock had already risen nearly 14%. Including the final surge, the total weekly performance approached almost 20%. This marks one of the strongest weekly recoveries the stock has seen in recent months. The rally lifted SoFi back above both the 50-day and 100-day moving averages after briefly falling below them earlier in the week. Technical models such as Elliott Wave had even projected a decline toward the $19 range, but the sharp reversal invalidated that bearish scenario and replaced it with a renewed upward trend. Ending the week with 2 consecutive closes above the 50-day moving average is considered a constructive signal for trend continuation. No major news articles or fresh analyst ratings were published throughout the day, so the stock's performance was largely influenced by overall market direction and institutional trading patterns. This absence of media coverage emphasizes that the move was structural rather than headline-driven. Options flow data also supported the bullish narrative. Total call premium reached approximately $32 million compared to $8.2 million in put premium. Even though it was a shortened trading day, this level of options activity was significant. Overall, about 51% of the options volume leaned bullish. Short-term call buyers appeared to be targeting a price range between $30 and $31 for the following week, while bearish sentiment suggested the possibility of a decline below $26. With SoFi closing near $29.72, several option strike prices ended the day in the money. Open interest showed about 12,000 contracts at the $29.50 strike, 21,000 at the $29 strike, around 15,000 at the $28.50 strike, and roughly 14,000 at the $28 strike. When large numbers of call options expire in the money, market makers often hedge by purchasing shares, which can generate upward pressure in the following sessions. This dynamic may lead to a short-term bump in price early next week, depending on how traders reposition themselves. Dark pool activity, another indicator of institutional sentiment, revealed several block trades above $100,000. The highest was around $1.4 million. While dark pool volume was quieter than usual, the presence of large trades still confirmed that institutional investors remained engaged in the stock even during lighter trading conditions. The day's most decisive technical event remained the break above 29.03. Clearing this level with conviction created a foundation for potential continuation into higher ranges, if momentum sustains. Market watchers will be monitoring how the stock behaves near the psychological $30 threshold, as maintaining strength above that zone could create a pathway to extend the trend. Going into the weekend, the focus will shift to updated technical projections, including wave structure interpretations and resistance mapping for the next trading week. With SoFi holding above multiple key moving averages and displaying notable institutional support, the trend structure appears more favorable than it has been in several sessions. Friends, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about today's video? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.